So I'm the Myron Cope Distinguished Professor of Scatological Theory, Presidential Emeritus Scholar at the University of Falopia, if you're not familiar with my work. And I gave a series of lectures that I kind of condensed into a talk that I'm going to give now called Transcendental Contractions of the Taylor Series Expansion. Some of you may be familiar with this topic already. You may have studied it in high school calculus. But basically, the Taylor series is a representation of a function as an infinite sum of terms that are calculated from the values of the function's derivatives at a single point. To kind of put that into layman's terms, you use this formula and you add one term at a time. So you have a complicated function, and gradually you create a function that looks more and more like the function that you're trying to approximate. Thank you. Now, of course, it's really hard in nature to approximate everything exactly. So there's this formula on the bottom that calculates the remainder. So just to summarize that, you have the function, you have your approximation of the function, then you have a remainder. So you want to get the remainder to be small. And the point of the Taylor series is that it attempts to approximate the inapproximatable. So you can see how powerful this tool is when you start to think about how to move off of your graph paper and into the natural world, where you can zoom into different forms and shapes that you see in nature, such as a rainbow, and kind of use the Taylor series to come up with an approximation, thus help you articulate something that's really hard to actually put into ordinary language. And getting even more abstract, we can think about human relationships and the convergence of our souls with the souls of our friends and loved ones, and how we might approximate the total union of people. It's a complex world out there. You can't approximate everything. Sometimes there's going to be a very large remainder with some of the issues that you might be trying to approximate using the Taylor series. So this graph kind of shows that some things the remainder is going to be a lot bigger than in other things when you use the Taylor series. So just to wrap this up, life is a complex function. It's an incoherent sequence of actions and concepts with varying remainders, some of which are incalculably large. I'm on Twitter too.